Making changes isn't easy. You know exactly what it is we need to do. Every woman that I speak with, they're just running. They wake up in the morning, the day just takes off. They're running, 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 running. What do we need to have in our daily routines so that we are plugged in to those battery packs? Three things. There's three other pieces that we need to figure out. Number one, we need to understand our why. I call it the you and for who. Number two, we have to figure out how to make this crazy easy to be consistent with. Every woman I meet, they know exactly what it is they need to do, right? If I stopped folks on the street and said, what do you need to do to take care of yourself? They would say, oh, I probably drink more water. I should probably exercise better. I should probably, get more sleep. They know exactly. And I call those the foundations of health and wellness. No one is confused about that. But it's the consistency. That's the leap that really trips us up. So we have to figure out how do we make it super easy to do daily so that we create momentum that leads to consistency. And over time, that leads to habits that we don't have to think about. The third thing is that we have to make sure that we are focusing on those 7 foundations of health and wellness. We can't keep running towards fads and the latest this and the latest that, right? We have to go with the tried and true, scientifically proven practices because we don't have time. We do not have time to be trying all these different things and failing.
I love the you and for who. We understand the need to be consistent and the 7 foundations. Say, I know you know, but knowing to do and are 2 different things. If you could just talk a little bit about the you and for who.
Making changes isn't easy. Even if we know that they're the right thing for us to do, we know exactly what it is we need to do. Every woman that I speak with, they're just running. They wake up in the morning, the day just takes off. They're running, 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 running. And what we try to do is we try to squeeze in a little something here and there. It's like we've got this ball, this wheel that just keeps rolling like a Ferris wheel. And it doesn't slow down. It doesn't stop. We just try to slide it in. But it doesn't really work that way. But we keep trying because we've got so much to do and so many people counting on us. And so when we're trying to make shifts and changes, it's useful to recognize that and acknowledge and just accept that we will do things for others a lot more than we will do for ourselves. So let's use this to help us make these changes. And so the you is your future self. Who is it that you're trying to be? I know when I was younger, I was always dreaming and thinking of who I was going to be when I got older and this and that and the other. But for a lot of us, it's been 30 years since we've taken the time, pen to paper, to try to think like, who am I now? And that person now is very different than the person that I was 20 years ago. What's important to me now? If we were going to take a vacation, we get real clear on the objectives that we want for that vacation, where we're going, how we're going to get there. But for our own lives, we don't slow down for that. Look, I'm not saying you need to go pay for a big retreat in this place or that place, even though those things are wonderful. But just ask yourself some questions. Here's a couple questions. If I were going to be the woman of my dreams, who would I be? How does this person handle disappointment and difficulty? What does this person do for fun? How does this person interact with other people that they know or they don't like or don't know, or people that they agree with or people they don't agree with, right? Like these are the fundamentals that encourage our personality and our values. Because if we understand who we're trying to be, then we know what we need to do each and every day to become that person. So that vision out there becomes a compelling force. It allows me to say, oh, I am going to have this nutritious meal today versus fast food because I know who it is I'm trying to be. And then the who is who needs me to be my best self, the best version of myself. I just have to share this information. I feel so sad that so many women are tripping over themselves and not feeling fulfilled or excited about the life that they're leading, and they're nervous about their future. I get to say I have a tremendous amount of influence over how the second half of my life feels to me. A lot of the first half of our lives, we didn't really, when I was younger, I didn't know who I was and what it is, I'm just following along. Let's just take a second and get really clear on who we're trying to become. Right? And we can use that person out there. My future self, the woman of my dreams, I actually give her a name. Her name is Cara-Michele. So I am often asking myself, What would Carmichael do here? What is she eating today for lunch? What decisions is she going to make about her exercise today? How is she going to handle this difficulty? How is she going to hydrate today or not? I can use my future self as someone who I do things for. I will fuel her in ways that I might not fuel myself.
How can women stay on that path?
That dopamine rush. That's what we're looking for. We live in an instant gratification society. Amazon Prime being able to drop something on my doorstep tomorrow. But it's the truth, the world that we live in. We get accustomed to that. That might not be the case with these 7 foundations, right? When we're drinking more water, that is a fantastic way. It is scientifically proven that hydrating is going to give you more energy. But that first glass of water is not it. We have to know that that's the truth, that the consistency will get me there. Exercise, sleep, all of those things. We don't need 2 months of that before we feel it, but we do need 4, 5, 6, 7 days. So understanding that that's the truth, that if we hydrate fully for that many days, we're going to feel it in just a handful of days. So we just know that that's the truth. And in order to actually do that consistently, this is my favorite phrase, ridiculously easy. It's got to be foolproof. And so that means that it can't be hard. It can't be a lot. It can't be disruptive to our current flow. And so choosing these little teeny small bites, you can't help but feel more energetic.